Hey guys, and welcome back to Trials and Tribulations. In the last part, we were working with Mr. Tiger here. So yeah, let's talk to him. The victim, Glen Elg. I ain't no liar. I never met Glen Elg. There was some lame guy with that name though. Wanted to borrow cash from me. I set up a meeting with the guy at my office, Tenderlander. I waited around for him, but he ain't ever showed. I never even been to that Tress Bean joint, you see? Alright, let's see. What do we need to do? Oh, hey, wait a minute. That's it. The Tress Bean thingy. Remember his office? He had Tress Bean matches. So, eat it. Suck it. Just like that. Finger point. Suck my epic finger point. Oh, get it? Anyway. Mr. Tiger, is there something you'd like to tell the court about these matches? Matches? What are you talking about? We found them in your office at Tenderlander. They're from that restaurant. If you've really never been to Tress Bean before, what was there a book of the restaurant's matches doing on your desk? You've been snooping around in my stuff now too, wise guy. What are you, my ball and chain? Ain't no broad controlling me. Smack. Order, order. Well, witness? I think it's time you started telling us the truth, don't you? Grarg! So sorry. I'm terribly sorry. Forgive me. I ain't no pussycat. I don't go back on what I said. But okay. I was at the joint that day. What? Well, listen good, alright? I might have been there, but I still never met that kid. Well, well. Epic coffee drink. Looks like an order just came in for another testimony. I'm this close to proving it was him. He did meet Glen Elg that day. And he did put poison in his coffee. He must have. I mean, just look at him. He looks evil. I mean, seriously, he is kind of like, he looks like a demon. I mean, he's got freaking red skin. I was supposed to meet with that kid in the restaurant that afternoon. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. The guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. I figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. I heard the cop sirens on my way out, and I went straight back to my office. This guy's pretty slick, actually. I see. You didn't actually meet with him in the end, then. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. Hold it. If I wait around any longer, I ain't even gonna make the normal express. No more stupid questions. No problem. No problem. Anytime Trite presses you on something irrelevant, I'll see he pays a penalty. Mr. Godo, that's my job! Smack! Your job is to slam that little hammer of yours and call a guilty verdict. So do it! Yes, sir! The Special Express ain't cheap, right? Just so you know, since he's paying. Oh man, doesn't the rule of law mean anything around here? Alright. At Tress Bean. What now? I was supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant that afternoon. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. That guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. Alright, let's see. I figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. Here, I'm just gonna go through it. Let's see. Went straight back to my office. Okay. Supposed to meet the kid. Restaurant that afternoon. What's on one ugly scene? Wait. When I opened the door to the joint, it was one ugly scene. How we press here? You mean you saw Glen Elg's dead body? I guess I did, but I only saw him from behind. He was wearing some raggy bit of cloth that called a hat. And what time was this? I don't know. Huh? You know what winds me up more than anything else in the world? Watches. Round watches. I ain't gonna pollute my paws with some ticking henpecker. Out of interest, Mr. Tiger, what winds you up the second most? Huh? What do you think? Square watches. Nice. Is this guy for real? Look, all I need to know is that something bad was going down in that place. I figured oh, okay. Okay. Well, Okay, well, I see my contradiction, but I don't know where I should put it. Because it says, when I opened the door to the joint, I saw an ugly scene, and then he was laid over the table. But if you look at the floor plans, from the door, it's blocked. You can't see him from the door. So here, I'm going to go with this one because it says he saw him. So let's see. Yeah! I win! Epic finger point. You're something of a loan-collecting pro, aren't you, Mr. Tiger? No one escapes the tiger's clutches. Well, I'm something of a lie-detecting pro. And no one escapes the Phoenix's clutches, even though that doesn't make any freaking sense. Because the Phoenix is dead, and you know what I mean. Anyway, I think it's time we got something straight. What's this, Wright? A new line of irrelevant questioning? These are the floor plans of the crime scene. You say we're standing at the entrance, Mr. Tiger. From there, your field of vision would have covered an area something like this. Indeed, the witness would have a clear view of the victim's seat. Isn't that what I just said? I saw the back of the kid's head. Unfortunately for you, that is not possible. If the court would think back, you'll remember that between each of the tables is a tall partition. Why, that's true! Now look at the plans again. The truth is painfully obvious. From the entrance, the field of vision, any customer walking in ends here. So, from the entrance of Tress Bean, you couldn't have seen the victim's seat. But you did see the victim that day because you met with him.
Objection!
Wrong. Have you forgotten the old man's testimony yesterday? The victim was alone at his table. But the defense just proved that point to be moot. The victim witnessed by Mr. Kudo was not Glenn Elk, but a fake. What? Did you forget? Jeez. In order to have Mr. Kudo falsely testify, the real killer posed as the victim he had just killed and acted out a charade. That will do. This trial has gone on long enough without the obvious question being answered. Who exactly was this real killer who impersonated the victim? You say the killer murdered Glenn Elk, and then impersonated his victim in a performance for Victor Kudo? In that case, Mr. Wright, reveal the identity of this criminal to the court. We've pretty much known this from the very beginning, so it's not exactly hard to guess. Obviously, the killer is Furio Tiger. No one else could have done it. What? Well, witness? Now that's cute. You think you can pin this on the tiger? Maybe you don't understand. The tiger is the king of the jungle. So I dare you to say it again. Come on, you got the guts. You can't threaten me, Mr. Tiger. It's the defense. Go ahead and tell the witness, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright! Sounds to me like it must be you, old man. You've got guts, I'll give you that. But Mr. Wright, don't leave me to handle this alone. Perhaps I can end this embarrassment. But Mr. Godo, let's just go back over Mr. Kudo's testimony one more time. The old man didn't see the victim. Oh, no, no, no. The serving girl brought them a Javachino, but she put something in it. There's no question about it. She's very conspicuously put, though, some white powder in there. Was the victim he saw the real victim or not? That doesn't matter. The fact remains he saw the accused put the poison into the coffee. Yes, it was the waitress who poisoned the coffee. Very impressive, Mr. Godo. Waiting for my absence to launch your attack. Epic coffee drink. Found your pen at last, Wright? It was in my pocket. Ahem. But anyway, Mr. Godo witnessed two people that day. He saw the victim, the supposed Mr. Glenn Elg, and the waitress from behind. Yes, your point, Mr. Wright? I think the conclusion is obvious. If this Glenn Elg was really the killer in disguise, then surely it's possible the waitress was also part of the show. What? You mean the waitress was an imposter as well? The defendant, Miss Bird, fell unconscious immediately after the incident. And someone used her fainting to hatch an elaborate plan to pin the murder on her. Smack! Who on earth was it? Who was this waitress that Mr. Kudo witnessed? We already know. It was this person.
Take that!
Yes. Who is this woman? Her name is Viola Cadaverini. She's an employee of Tenderlender. You's making a big mistake. Do you know who Violetta's grandfather is? You better be going home in an armored truck tonight if you know what I mean. Stop shaking, Nick! Where was I? Yes, the defendant, Miss Bird, had stated the following. Well, when I took the coffee over to the victim's table, it's true there was another customer in the restaurant. She was sort of creepy, and she had a kind of cackling laugh. There are just too many contradictions in this case. The second man at the victim's table who nobody but Miss Bird seems to have seen. The earpiece worn by the victim in his left ear when that eardrum was ruptured. And the radio show he was supposedly listening to half an hour ago listening to half an hour after it was already over. There's only one logical explanation that clears up all of these contradictions. The whole incident took place twice, once for real and once for show. And Furio Tiger, the only person who could have committed the crime, was you. Witness? What have you got to say? That's cute. Sorry? You's alright. I could do with a guy like you around. What do you mean? Okay, I'm in on this game. I'm gonna have to charter a jet to get me to my meeting now, but I'm gonna give you one more thing to think about before I go. Something to think about? You's got it all wrapped up nice, huh, right? But you's missed out on one real important thing. But that can't be. I was in the joint that day, and I met that kid, too. ... exclamation point. But I couldn't have poisoned him, you hear? What? Do you really expect us to believe you now, Mr. Tiger? What a troublemaker. Troublemaker? Looks like we're gonna need another one for the road. Epic coffee drink. One more steaming hot cup. One more steaming cup of hot testimony. God, I can't talk. Indeed. Witness, you will explain yourself to the court. I will give you one more chance to testify. What happened to that day at the Très Bien between yourself and the victim? Ties to the victim. All right. I think I might end this one early just because this is the, I'm pretty sure this is like the last testimony, if I remember correctly. I'm fairly certain. So, next time, we will finish this. So see you guys later. Sorry for the short-ish episode, but whatever. Bye.